Okay, now on the first day that you got here to New Skin, I think that many of you had gone over to the company, you have visited and seen how massive the building is and seen our partners. And that's the thing that I love best about this company is that the corporate guys are not just people that are sitting up in their ivory tower and not working with us. They are truly hand to hand, locked in this business with us. And so I'm so excited to introduce to you the next speaker. He was appointed as Executive Vice President and Chief Product Officer to the company in 2021. Previously served as Senior Vice President of Global Products and has been a member of New Skin's Global Management Committee since 2018. Before coming here, he had 30 years of experience in wellness, beauty, and innovation. So let's give a big round of applause to our next speaker, Steve Hatchett.
Thank you. You guys are so awesome. Oh my goodness. It's so so good to be with you. You guys maintaining that energy? Are you kidding me? That was awesome. It was literally shaking back there. They had laptops that were kind of like falling off of things and stuff like that. It was so good to be here. Man, I'm sure Ryan told you if he was here before me. We were over in Park City, and we're in I'm sure he said the dungeon. It was the dungeon, man. It was like this beautiful Park City, all these mountains and trees and all that sort of stuff. And we were in 3 days with the executives, market presidents, and we were just hunkered down. There was not a window in sight. It was like, shut off your phone. I think Ryan did this on purpose, but nobody could get a Wi-Fi signal. We couldn't go to our phones. We couldn't go to the lab. I mean, you'd pop it up, back down, stay focused, right? And it was so much fun because we were able to get so much done in that 72 hours that we were there, and it was a great experience. But the fun thing is we were talking all about you. And we were talking about what it is that we can do to empower you to do what you do so good. And to do what you do in a way that's just amazing, and it's unique. It really is unique. Because like I've said a million times, whether I'm talking to you in person or whether I'm talking to you from stage or whether we're just having a nice conversation over lunch, there's a lot of ways to make money, right? There just is. But there's something special about making money and building a business and sharing products and enjoying products and retailing products and selling products and providing products to other people and opportunities to grow and learn. But to help somebody look better, feel better, to do something where you've improved somebody's life, that's different. And when you take it serious like you do, because you're here, it's Saturday, it's in the afternoon, it's a little hot out there, by the way. You're here and you're ready to learn. We're going to talk about that today. And I want to talk a little bit about something since we're doing imPossible. They said, where's your shades? You look a lot better with shades. I'm sure I do. I look a lot better with a lot of things on my face besides my face. So let's just be honest. So come on. I mean, Ryan comes in with that cheekbone that I think goes to Delaware. I'm not sure, but it's like, just like goes back here and you're like, I got to follow him, and they go, it's too bad. So, and then you have all these wonderful people in this company that represent us in such a wonderful way. And then, I think, why am I here? Why am I so privileged to be with you? And thanks for sharing a couple minutes. And thank you to all of the individuals that were prepping and getting ready and so forth, and for inviting me to participate. It's a real privilege for me to be here with you. And I really consider it that as a tremendous honor. I'm probably talking too fast because I'm wanting to get into some really good stuff, but I will slow it down on this one part. So, as you think about what I'm talking to you about today, there's not going to be a sales pitch. It's just not going to happen. I'm just going to talk to you about facts, reality, try to be serious and authentic. I'm going to feel like we're just hanging out in your home or my home and just talking about what I believe, what I think, and what I know. And hopefully it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, come up afterwards, hit me across the face, like tell me I don't understand what I'm doing, and then let's figure out what it is that means something to you. Because the reality is, if we're not completely aligned, then it doesn't matter. right? If we're over here trying to do all these great things over here and it doesn't help you, then it doesn't matter. I mean, seriously, we've got to make sure that every second of every day we spend in Provo, around the world, we're working on things that really will make your life better. And quite frankly, and I told you I'd speak truth, you haven't felt it. Sometimes you lift and shift an entire technology stack. It can cost $5 million, $5, $500 million. It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is there's going to be friction and there's going to be problems. And what's amazing is when I see leaders, how they respond to the friction. How do you act when things are going not so good? Like Shirley was just talking to you. Shirley does give good energy. She's amazing. But at the same time, when you're trying to share with other people what you know and love, and something breaks, it doesn't work, you can't get subscription, you can't do certain things, the product doesn't come on time, or it comes in a tube that suddenly is cracked and there's goo all over the box. I mean, how does that work? And I've watched you, and I've watched how you've responded to those issues. And in fairness, you do it a lot better than I do. A lot better. And sometimes you'll drop me this text. You'll say, "Hi, Steve. How you doing? Love you a bunch. You're amazing." I'm like, uh-oh. Here it comes. Here it comes. Just want you to know there's nothing we could do better than to work together, and you got time for oh, and by the way, here's a picture of what came today. Here's what it looks like. Here's the list. Here's the packing list. Here's the information. And by the way, we're on back order on this, this, and this, and get on it. Love you. Right? I mean, come on, let's get real. Fortunately, you know I'm there, and I'm like going, and you should see me when I get those texts, whatever time they come in. Because they don't just come in just from the U.S. They come in from all over the world. This business never shuts down, right? I mean, it's constantly going. People say, "What are you doing at 3 o'clock in the morning?" I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm responding to Southeast Asia right now because they've got an issue going on. It's fun, though. I got so much energy, so much time to dedicate to what we're doing here because we can make a difference. I watched people out there on the golf course, and I'll get into it in just a second, but I watched people on the golf course when I came out of the meetings after 3 days, tired, although I had a certain device that I used to help with that. So I was able to get my certain aches and stuff challenges and stuff like that worked through my stretching and my exercise and my neck twirling and other stuff. So, but I watched these people that were sitting there, and this is such an easy thing to do. Snapshot, that person's got nothing going on in their life. Well, who knows? They could have just finished a big meeting too, and they're just finally relaxing on the golf course. But my point is that I saw this, and I thought to myself, how fun. Everything we just worked on for that time took away from our families and everything else we're doing to focus on how we build the business, and here you are. Here you are. And I know what's coming. And I know what we're changing. And I know what we're doing. And I know the beatings that we're given on the experiences that you've had that were not optimal. I say beatings in a nice way. HR would be really mad with me right now. There was no beatings officially, but there was some very stern looks, a little bit of an elevated voice, and some really aggressive nonverbals, I guess is the right way to put it. So just kind of like, flexing and so forth. Anyways, the problem is that all that's good and well, but if it doesn't manifest at what you're doing, then it doesn't empower you. And in fact, I made a statement. I said, how do I go on stage and talk about empower me, or how do I get on the phone with Sean Brady or Sherry Brady? How do I get on the phone with Dan McCormick, or how do I get on the phone with Jeff, and how do I get on the phone with Charlie? How do I get on the phone with and Jason? I mean, all these wonderful, amazing people all over the world. How do I do it? And then I just listed some people I just saw just now here, but like Stephen Moore calls me and says, "So where are we at on this issue?" And it's like, "All right, Stephen, I know. He goes, no, I'm just getting started. I got 72. Hang on, we got to, all right, I'm with you. Can we just get the first one done?" He goes, yeah, that's great, okay. So, and it isn't the best thing is whenever one of you say, "Hey, we just need 1 minute." Yeah, I've heard that one. I'm smarter than that, but then I've done that back to you because you just got 1 minute and we go for a little bit longer. But I will tell you, the funnest thing for me ever to do is that from 9 to 11, beyond with you and or somebody that you've sponsored over in another part of the world and start talking about business. That is fun for me because we're going to get to the bottom of what's the challenge. We're going to find out what needs to happen, and I want to edify and reinforce you so that they know there's people in Provo that really care. So that's where we're going. That's what we're trying to do. That's where we're focused on. Now, let's get into the meat of what we're doing. This is called imPossible, but there's a phrase that's called the art of the possible. And what that is as we think about products and as we think about the way to build the business and how to support you, we have this massive board. We call it the Da Vinci room because of creativity and innovation. We say, what is possible? You know, what can we do? And we don't take the comment of, well, we can't ship it to them same day because there's this, and we said, no, we didn't ask what was happening. We said, what is possible? What do they want? I have a list. I'm not kidding you. I says, I have a list close to about 1,000 items that every time we talk on the phone, I take notes. I have a list that I keep that says, wouldn't it be great if, Bob? And then it goes to my head. So we go into the meetings, and I say, when we start hitting topics, I say, I've heard this would be really valuable. Why can't we do this? And everybody kind of looks at it and goes, well, because we don't. I said, no. I know what we're doing now. Why can't we do this? And they said, well, I don't know. This is this. I said, no, I get it. Quiet. Not in a mean way, but just quiet. And then I said, why not? If this is a pain point for you, then I got to believe it's a pain point for most of you. So stop thinking about, you hear about all the, I'm not able to do that, ... And I'm sure you've heard this story a million times in this scenario, but yet, right? Because people say that all the time. We can't do that. We can't hook this up. We can't hook up that. We can't do this. Subscriptions has to fall under this. Okay, fine. I get what we're doing. We can't do that yet. So we got to think through these things and start understanding what we can do. That's how we frame it when they know now. My team and the other cross-functional members of the organization, we don't go into a meeting, and if they ever say to Ryan, myself, or any of the other executives, and they say, well, this is what, no. What is possible? What is the art of the possible? Let's start creating from there and work back, and how will it make their lives better? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And the other thing that's really important to understand is this Rogers adoption curve. It's really, really important because this is the meat of what happens. You get people who are early adopters, and sometimes they don't have the best experience. And in fact, when you look at minimal viable product, which I think is this, anyways, I got a different opinion about that. I think it's terrible. Like Joe Chang and I look at ourselves and we're like, minimal viable product? Like, what do you, like, no, we go, great product, get it out there, and make things happen. They're like, well, you got to start from somewhere, and then So I hate it, but sometimes you do have to start, and then there's this iteration of feedback from you that says, we like this, we don't like that, we'll never use this, we do like that, and we just keep iterating and iterating and iterating and getting better. That talks about payout structure, that's talking about pricing, we're talking about the functionality of the product. All those things go into it. And so from my standpoint, it is not done when it's out. That's just the beginning, and we want to find out more, especially when we're talking about devices. Because in my opinion, when we launched, for instance, the Lumi Spa IO, when I looked at that as it went out, it's the best product we've ever made from a device standpoint. The quality was second to none. In fact, we got so many awards and the engineering design, all that sort of stuff, and that's all great. But we tried to connect an app for the first time in the history of the company, and it was really hard. And what was interesting was the response from all of you who said, I tried it once, it didn't connect, or it did connect and then it dropped me or something happened, and we just took note after note after note. I had one wonderful leader say, can I just get 5 minutes? and said, hey, can I come to your office? I'm coming into town. I said, great. And they took their Lumi, it's a true story. They took their Lumi spa, this is at the very beginning, and they took their Lumi spa, and it was so funny because she's really a sweet woman. I mean, just amazing person, and we're good friends, and it was this cute hug and everything. It's kind of like that text, right? We start off, hi, Steve. So hug, sit down, super grateful about all this, and this, and how's the family, da, 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 da. And then and then you heard this, okay, we got the pleasantries out of the way. Then she reaches down into her bag, and she takes her Lumi Spa and her charger and her phone, and I'm trying to remember everything that was in that purse, and I don't remember everything, and she just kind of took it, and she went, ugh. That was her exact comment. She goes, how do I do this? I don't, in the app, and it just, and this, and I, da, 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 da. And so I said, you know what? I said, and I called my assistant. I said, clear my schedule. I said, we're going to stay until we fix this. And at least understanding how to fix it. And she said, really? I said, yeah. Because I said, we've got our design. We know what we want to do, but we got to make sure it's delivering for you. Well, I'm not a real technology person, and I had a bad experience, but now I'm trying to teach people about technology, and I'm not that person again, and so it's kind of missing for me. And I said, okay, great. So we went through the entire process, invited more people to the discussion and so forth, and that's what we do. We have to listen. We have to hear. The good's great, but we have to hear that other side of the coin of what's not so great. So the adoption curve's there. It's real. But what's interesting is if you draw a correlation drive on the innovation, so Apple, when it came out with its iPhone, no app store. They tried to keep it a closed environment. Steve Jobs, ego intact, said, no, this is my baby. Nobody's going to get in here. Everybody went, well, you changed the world for those people that want that. But if you really want to change the world, you've got to open that so people can do it. Next year, App Store comes in. Now there's over 2 million apps, and it changed everything. But the first year, it didn't happen. We're still in our first year with Lumi Spa, I/O. If you see the rollouts that are going to be coming, and then another device that's going to be coming, and then some other things that are going to be happening in 2024, you'll start to see what's really happening is this innovation cycle that's happening. And this adoption curve, those of you who are ahead of it are going to be pleasantly surprised about what you're going to know. If you have Vera on your phone, people, I don't want Vera. I don't want to even learn Vera. I don't even care about Vera. Okay, cool. So don't be mad if there's a code that comes through that gives you a tremendous advantage. Okay? Or if there's a only found in Vera presentation from Joe Chang. Or if there's a promotion that's run through and it comes through Vera/Stella for product offer. If you don't have that, it's a problem. Think about this next device. Number one thing you told me. You said, Steve, it's got to be like synced in a minute or less. In fact, I remember Craig Bryson, I told him, I said, Craig, this new device, it's going to go this fast. He goes, that's great, but it needs to be cut in half. And I said, Craig, seriously? And he goes, well, yeah, you got to make it fast. I'm like, is there another device, any device, that can sync faster than that? Tell me. He goes, well, I got to do some research. I said, well, then how do you know it's half? And he goes, well, I just want it faster. I said, okay, great. I mean, that's typical concept. But think about this. If you have Vera, when this new device, is coming out, and you have Vera and you sync, it's a 30-second experience. Boom, you're in, and you're going. In fact, we just did it yesterday in a demo to our market presence, and it was less than 10 seconds. That's how fast it was. So, I ruined it because I should have stuck with 30, and then you'd have been happy with the 10. So anyways, crap, I got to remember to set expectations right. So anyways, but it went fast. Well, we had no, we didn't. So anyways, I'll get into that other stuff. But here's the deal, we're listening. Okay, this adoption curve, if you have it, it's great. If you don't have it, it's a little bit of a trick, right? You have to get the Vera link, download the information, put your information. I mean, that's true of anything, right? Any major device or anything you do, you have to put in your information so you have that that is specifically connected to you, okay? There's privacy, all these other things that we have to do. But if you're already in, it's great. So if you say, I don't care about Vera, you better care about Vera if you want to duplicate and build your business, and if you want to share it with friends and family, you better know how. It's on your phone. Say, I don't like it, get an update. You're going to bed late at night, set it up, let it update, whatever. And if you don't like it right now, fine. That's fine. Product offer may be coming. There could be a search and find that's coming. There could be offers that are coming. Just hang in there, okay? So, why are we doing it? What's the big deal? Why do we care? This is the magic, okay? We're going where the world is. There's 8 billion of these freaking phones in the world that are going, or 8 billion people. There's probably, I don't know how many billions of phones are sitting in a landfill and then also in other places. But this is where the world's doing business right now, okay? And in fact, it was so funny. I talked to 3 of my team that are in their early 20s, and I sent each one of them a voicemail. And they came into work, and I'm like, where are you at? Why didn't you get that finished? What's going on? They said, what do you mean? I haven't heard from you all day. And I said, I put a voicemail in there. Voicemail? Nobody even uses voicemail. I'm like, they don't? I said, I'm just so dated. Anyways, they said, no voicemails. Just text me if you want me or that sort of stuff. And it's so funny how that generation. Anyways, so 1.85 trillion beauty and wellness, 1.8 trillion Internet of Things, 77% of people want personalization, and 700% are looking at social commerce as a way to go. I hate that word, social commerce, those 2 words. I just think that sounds so unpersonal, the way we do our business. Because think about this, okay? There's people who are not here today who would desperately love to be here for whatever reason. They couldn't do it based on health or family situations or challenges or stuff like that, okay? Why is that important? It's because you're not alone. When you go buy a shampoo at the retail store, guess what? The person in Florida doesn't care that you just bought it or you had a good experience or a bad experience. They don't care. Not picking on Florida. Nobody cares. Like, who cares? You bought a retail product. You're using it for yourself. Who cares? You're not building a business off of it. You don't have a support team that's with you saying, how did it work? Do you like it? What's going on? So forth, okay? There's a level of relationship that's so unique here that's different than anything else. And when people tap into that and understand that relationship that goes on, and then you put this into the equation and you connect people in a more significant way, that's significant. So we're going to go after this empower. So what is the company doing to support you? Well, right now it feels like a house, and all you hear is the hammers and the nails and all the stuff going bang, 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 bang as we're building this thing. But we're building this foundation. We poured the concrete, like I think Equinox went in like 3 weeks ago, so that was a lot of fun. And I'm sure you guys, for all of you, by the way, you felt the most, more than anybody else, and I just sincerely apologize that you felt that much pain. Seriously, I mean that when I say I'm not being, I mean I heard it and I felt it, and it was heartbreaking. Finishing the month strong. Okay, give me a platform that I can actually order on, and I'll do it. And we can go for it, okay? So I hope Ryan, everyone else apologize because we missed that one. We were doing a good thing. We had to get the cement in. It was critical. But if we don't do it, we're in trouble, okay? Let me talk to you about this big moment that happened back in roughly around 1440, 1450. The Gutenberg press actually went in and it changed the world. You can go from the Gutenberg press, and it goes all the way through. It's the first time they actually had something that wasn't set up on a manuscript where somebody wrote something, okay? The issue is it took 200 years for people to start doing it, because before then, the manuscripts only went to those people who had a tremendous amount of money, or they were religious, or something along those facts, okay? So only these people could look at these books. And then so the rich got richer, and those people who potentially had access to information and could read, that was the issue. The interesting thing about the Gutenberg press is, yes, it helped make things better and faster, and you could expand it, but guess what? If you didn't know how to read, it didn't matter to you directly. Think about that for a second. Literacy is such a huge issue. I just read a report recently that those who have low literacy, 43% of them live below the poverty line. Low literacy, 43% live below, today, this is today, not in 1400, today, 43%. However, those with high literacy, there's less than 5% live below the poverty line. It's that stark. So the difference isn't that we had a press. The difference is that it inspired people to say, I can get an access to books that were previously only for the rich or the religious, and now I can start learning and ideating. That's a game changer. That's huge. And now you add literacy, so it's, again, there's not just magic. That's what we're doing today. That's what we've been doing that's what you've been doing the last couple of days, is you're training, you're educating, you're learning, you're growing, because the press does it, the book creates, you learn how to read, now you have the power, now you have to go do, right? I mean, that's the difference. Just because you read a book doesn't mean you can do it. Just because you know information doesn't mean you're better. You have to put it in action. So this changed the world in a huge way, and things started to happening where people who now wanted to read really came up with these great inventions. So now you look at growth mindset. Look at this. So Blockbuster comes in, founded, back in 1985, and they're cruising along, having this nice heyday, blue shirts, or yellow collars, all that sort of stuff, and then they start to see this dip where things start coming down, and they're trying to figure out why, and then Netflix comes along. In 1997, they formed it, getting called Kibble. Their original name was Kibble the first year. You talk about improvement. That was improvement, going from Kibble to Netflix. So literally, read it. It's amazing. So, and they changed their thing to Netflix because their vision said, we want to go to the net, but nobody was doing the net right then. So they put a vision. They said, 10 years out, we're going to be there. And they went through a really arduous process, and I won't go through all that, but the bottom line is, it was right where you see that 2000, roughly, that valuation of $50 million for Netflix. That was the offer that Blockbuster could have had Netflix for. $50 million. $50 million they could have had Netflix. Reed Hastings put it on the table. And Blockbuster laughed him out of the room because look at those guys, they're $1 billion company. They don't need to innovate. We got Blockbusters. People love our shirts. But you guys are going down. Yeah, but this net thing isn't going to work. This Vera thing isn't going to work. Sound familiar? This Stella thing isn't going to work. This newskin.com thing isn't going to work. This whole push to the web and digital, you guys are so unpersonal. Okay, hang in there with me, because it took 10 years for Netflix to get the game on. They were unprofitable. They struggled. They had all these challenges. But once they caught that gear and it went. And look what happened to our friends at Blockbuster. Now, this is not against them. I hope no lawyers are going to come after me on this issue. But the bottom line is, look, what happened? They never recovered until they hit this little $24 million valuation, and I think the last one just closed in Topeka, Kansas, or Washington, or something. I don't know what it was. Anyways, but then look at this valuation for Netflix. It just keeps going. They had it in their hands. They had Vera in their hands. They had Stella in their hands, and they said, it's not working. And yes, the digital experience was terrible for Netflix, because guess what? Every single home had a different level of speed. So you'd watch a movie and be like, well, this is terrible. I could just go down to Blockbuster, and you could, but you love your PJs and you love your bed and you want to watch it. Okay? So you said, okay, I'll just kind of stay here and watch it buffer. And is it gonna kill her? Oh my gosh, no. Oh, buffer, okay. Oh, I need a restroom break anyway, so I'm gonna go run over here, get the restroom break, and then you go come back, right? So that's what's going on with Netflix, and people put up with a little bit of the friction. They didn't have a business building opportunity off of Netflix, but they did have a good viewing experience. So let's see what happened. Look at this business. Look at this, 1997 to 2006, growth and investment. There was a lot of giving, a lot of trial and error, a lot of effort. Then there was turbulence and perseverance and challenges, and then that innovation and domination took place, okay? Literally, just took place. What made them win? Is it because they had no problems? No, they had several. But they had to figure out how to get subscription right, because if you get person in today, it's not going to be there tomorrow unless you get people focused on subscription. That is so important. Number two is you have to understand that not every single person is different. They don't want every single product to be the same. Some people may want to be scanned and USCS products. Some people want to focus on lash. Some people may want to focus on weight management. Some people may want to focus. They may start somewhere, but they don't necessarily always end there. That development of the persona journey. Little note. Interesting, Netflix is so big, there's no upsell currently. Think about this for a second. You're in, you go to subscription, they've locked you in. Now they're guiding you on all these persona journeys because they're giving you information based on the data that they have. But guess what? There's no upsell opportunity. There's nothing else they're doing. Prime does it. They say, here's all the movies that you can watch. And it's like, I've got a movie from 1956, and it's like black and white. And I'm going, I'm a Prime member. And they're like, yeah, but that's what you got. And then they say, but if you want the cool stuff, you got to come over here and pay for it, $19.99. It's like, huh. And this is Prime. Okay, cool. And that's not fair to them either. But I'm just saying the reality is that they're constantly looking for ways to continue to get you into the business. But they're using personas, pulling you in, and then helping you understand the other content that's available if you want it. So it was technology. Sorry, went too fast there. So technology and content. They had to have good content. That was a big deal. They had to have something people wanted to watch, okay? But they doubled down so hard on digital, just like Nu Skin. So what is Nu Skin doing? Focusing more on subscription, more on their technology. You've heard about this time that Ryan talked about it as well. Content. What I call content, there's content that revolves around 3 different things. Number 1, product. We have to have great products, period. It's like table stakes. I go, we've got really good products. None of you guys are going to go, huh, that's new. Write that down. That's table stakes. We know that's what we have to have, okay? You also have to have good information on educating people on what it is and what it does. And that's where we run into some snags because legal doesn't necessarily allow us, or the world, regulatory agencies do not allow us to talk about everything that we can do with that. When Meta came out, we had 4 clinical studies. We could only use about 30% of the material in those clinical studies. That's all we could use, 30%. Because the rest of it, it would be considered something different. So we had to be so careful and guarded, but we had to provide that information to you. The third thing is it's got to be something that's shareable, something that you can see. Some people have attention span where they can watch. You see these podcasts. Some of them go for like 3-4 hours. Have you ever seen these 3-4 hour podcasts? And people are like getting their dishes done, go mow the lawn. They're still listening and so forth. Then you have these others that are 30 minutes, and then there's some that are just a 5-minute, uplifting story. Everybody's different, but we have to have content that meets different people, different places. Where are you? Build your business your way, okay? So, real fast, innovation. Think about this. How many of you guys, wait a second, I heard the rumbling. How many of you had this phone? Or these phones? Okay, that's most of you guys. Wow, we're together. That's awesome. Remember, you go up to this phone, I'll pretend it's this one, you go, N, oh, shoot, wrong one. It was the one over, fat finger it, and then somebody calls you, oh, hi, and then you get back to, Okay, so this was really cool. In 1992, these rocked the world, and they were going big time, right? Look at this innovation. Look at this creativity. Look at this amazing company. And we refine it, and we refine it, and we refine it to the point where the candle can only be a candle in such a way. This phone can only be this phone in such a way. And when Steve Jobs literally thought about this, he didn't think about a phone. He thought much bigger. What was the art of the possible? As you're building your business, what is the art of the possible for you? Think big. Don't think small. Think big. If you don't believe you can do it, find somebody in your upline that has done it and figure it out. It is possible. It is doable. But it takes guts, perseverance, hard work, dedication. It's not always fun. You're going to show up to something, and you thought there was going to be 100 people, and there's 2. And it's the person that invited you and their mom. And you're going to say, is this it? Yeah, maybe, because I've heard the stories. And that's what happens. But this is what it looked like to this company, and they kept coming out with their new version. And then you had a moment. 2007, Steve Jobs walks out on the stage and says, I got a little something in my pocket, and this came out. And suddenly now you didn't just have a phone, you had an internet device, and you had a music device, all in one. And when he presented this, everything changed. Everything changed. Look at the sales for Apple. We get a chance to their financial report. Look what happened when this came out of the pocket. And the scariest thing is, there were some companies who just went, that'll fail. That's not going to make it. Vera, Stella, You catching this a little bit? All right. So, I know you guys are, anyways. So, but I want you guys to understand, this happened. You saw that Blockbuster, right, going down. It was even faster for this company. Literally lost market share. It was I think it was like $100 billion market share down to like 10 billion, and now sold out of the business. And I mean, do you guys even, is Nokia even around? I don't know. Maybe so. This changed everything, and it's still changing everything. Okay? So I'm not Mr. iPhone celebrity person trying to promote that. I'm saying innovation is what you've got to embrace. Thinking about things differently. What is the possible of this? Can I put all this into it? So Empower Me about Nu Skin is about innovation disruption. We're going in and we're taking integrated beauty and wellness. People aren't thinking about this, but we have wellness and we have beauty. Why not? Okay? We have now digitally connected devices on Tuesday, sometimes not on Wednesday, but we're almost there. We're going to get it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every single day. We're going to have it completely connected, okay? Don't worry, it's coming. But hang in there with us, okay? Use the restroom, whatever you need to do, okay? And then come back, okay? The integrated clinical studies, tie these suckers back. Find the studies, and they're going to be available to you so you can start sharing them around future. We've got a difference demonstrator. We know the difference. Those of you who have done Scanner, you can see it firsthand. It's amazing to us that we've put that out there so long ago, and it has consistently been this difference demonstrator that has built businesses and continues to build businesses. That's why I did Beauty Focus Collagen Plus. You've seen the rest of this, and I'll make sure that's available to you guys as well. We want to make sure that you have products. Remember we talked about before, integrated beauty and wellness. That sounds so business. How about products that make a difference? How about that? Products that make a difference. Help me look better, feel better, do more, be more. That's what I talk about. Social commerce, very, very business speak. How about literally, as we've got here, powerful social connection, because this is social connection, okay? This is social connection. And then digital tools that just keep getting smarter. So, we have not stopped innovating on Vera. We have not stopped innovating on Stella. We have not stopped innovating on newskin.com. If you could see what I've seen and you can know where they're going and what's going to happen, I'm telling you, it is the big bet. It is the one that's going to take us through where we're going to be and where you're going to want to be, and we're going to show people how we're going to do it. Now, the early adopters are rolling with us, and we're going. The others are kind of watching closely and trying to figure it out, and those who are prepared will win. It's that simple. So remember, what are the 4 key elements of the playbook that wins? Subscription compensation, unique products, content, we talked about that, technology, and persona-driven. Everybody comes into the business different, okay? This is the way I think of it, because look, that was very business speak. Now we put people in it, and there starts the emotion right here, right? We're not talking about like buildings and like things like that. That's cool, that's great. But people smiling, people having good experiences, that's what's really, really important, okay? That's what we're trying to focus on. Amazing, Steve, but how does Empower Me empowers me? Well, I don't know that it does yet, but it's building. And that home isn't built yet, but the cement's in, and the floorboards are in, and the walls are starting to come up, and the ceiling's about ready to go on, and that home's going to be unbelievable. And you don't want to miss Dubai, and you don't want to miss 2024, some qualifications that are coming up, and some other stuff, because there's going to be some things that you're going to blow your mind when we go out there, okay? So that's where the question is. So current future state, we're going to go through this really fast. Go fast, and even video it if you want to. How many times have I said that from stage? So video that, because we're going to go super fast. People say they want to be a force for good around the world. You can immediately engage right now and be a force for good. 800 million plus meals through Force for Good, okay? 800 million, you're impacting people all over the world. Then you think about it, you can truly unlock beauty and wellness integrated. It's a totally different thing about duplication. There's not one home you cannot help. There's not one person you cannot help. They're all there, and they're waiting for you, okay? Give confidence, whether it's better complexion, you know what you're doing, you understand the products, you feel better about yourself, whatever it is, that's what Empower Me is. Gives you peace of mind. I know this is future state, Hang in there with me, Diana. All right, so we just got a future state. Hang in there. Peace of mind's coming, don't worry. Gives me my joy back. Gives me something that I'm talking about the products and I'm sharing them with friends and family. That's what I'm doing, okay? I'll go fast to these last ones. Gives me my time back. Instead of sitting there waiting, putting orders through and being frustrated, that's our goal. These are what we're trying to do. I know it may not feel like way to you, but this is what we're trying to do. Give you your time back. You don't want to be on your phone and a computer dealing with stuff like that. You want to be with your families, friends, neighbors, doing whatever you do, being a rock star, whatever it is. That's what you want to do. And then there's this evolution of, okay, how can we be better with all this information on DNA and microbiome and all this other stuff? Is there a way we could take our products and really customize them to you? Good question. Keep that one in your mind. So we're going to keep rolling on this, but you also have to have a little bit of fun along the way. How many people agree that you have to have a little bit of fun or a lot of bit of fun in the process? Okay? Wow. That's some of you in the back are going, no fun. I don't care about fun. I won't say a National Geographic or anything like that, but I heard this from Ashley Robichaud, like through the phone. She's like, Steve, it's got to be fun. If it's not fun, man, it's just not going to be a business I want to be a part of. And I said, I get it. It does. It has to be fun. Okay? Explaining science, don't do it sometimes, unless you're a qualified doctor and you know everything about anthocyanins and all the different things and carotenoids and so forth. Just don't do it unless you know how to do it. Let doctors who know how to do it, and we can share links that now come in and let these experts come in and show you what it does. Now, this is a future state. Hang in there with me. 1 minute, 30-second videos that say, what the heck's a carotenoid and why does it help my skin? You want to know? Joe. And you could be in your bed watching Netflix or whatever else you watch and send Joe's testimonial to somebody about what it does and gives you the background of the information, or Helen's or Shelly's or anybody else's. I'm already out of time. Dadgummit, I hate this darn ticker. And you've got the most amazing person in the world coming up to close this baby with Charlie, but I don't want to take up too much more time. But if you don't know how to work that, Vera and Stella, because hopefully you're buying in a little bit on this. Emily's going to take Sherry. You saw her video earlier, and so she's in. She's all in. She's going to help us do this, get better and better, and then share it with everyone else. Once you learn, Gutenberg Press, book, read, learn, and then share and grow your business. Okay, actionable insights coming to your phone. Why does that matter? Because the data is going to give you information you never had before. We'll get into that another time. This is what our computer looked like originally, okay? We go in there. This is the amount of real-time data that we had up until this year, this last year when we launched Let Me Spy.io. Here it is. It's all of that. Do you see it? Get it? Photo? Good? Got it? That's it. That's all we had. And this is what Greg Darlington and the team looked like back in the day, okay? Back in 1995. And I can go through all this with you too, but the reality is this was a group of people who were answering phones and all this other good stuff. Newskin.com came in, and believe it or not, think about this. The website was created in 1995, but like nobody really jumped on it until 2009. Think about this. But you look at those who did jump in early and what success they had, it was massive, okay? So think about this is a good note. You can take this orders processing back there in 1998. We did about 50 orders per minute. Then we got those cool servers. They did really good, some good stuff, and that was great. We got all the way up to 800 orders per minute, and now we're doing this AWS web services and so forth. We're crushing it at close to, oh, wait a second. Did I not update this? We're at 8,000 orders per minute, okay? So when somebody sent me a message, my order didn't go through, I said, you're the only one. Just telling you. All right. Now, let's talk about your husband. Let's talk about the challenges he's got. All right, now we're rolling. And so my point is that it wasn't perfect, and that isn't necessarily this, but we're seeing improvements. You guys are getting a little bit of this. Black Friday 2 years ago was a mess in Europe. Last year, we almost didn't have anything miss. It was last year, it was so much better than it was the year before. People sitting there looking at their computers and so forth, and it got better and better and better and better and better and better. Louisa Spencer can tell you all about it. Invite her on stage, and fire would come out of her eyes and tell you how much she hated it. So Black Friday was a bad day, but it was a bad day. That's the key. It wasn't great yet, but it's now better, okay? All right, we only got a couple more of these, and then we're done. This looks familiar. Talk to me more about this later. I'll even do a Zoom call if you want me to, and we can do that. We can talk about this amazing, amazing device that's the only one like it in the entire world. That this product, when it launches, it is going to change everything. I was going to put it in my pocket and pull it out. I did it in Switzerland, but my wife said it made me look lumpy. So I said, okay, I'm not going to do that. So she goes, no, don't do that. And I said, okay. So I put it up here in my pocket. She goes, no, that doesn't help either. So I didn't do it, but just so you know, just like when Steve Jobs pulled it out of his pocket, it's a game changer. It's going to change everything. It really will change everything. Go get more information on this. I give it to you. First time we ever, this patent pending technology, basically Empower technology that actually goes in. I've got testimonials from you that half of them make me cry because I'm so happy for you, and the other half of me say, oh my gosh, I hope Brian, no compliance. What are we going to do? So I say, no, you can't say that. You can't talk about that. But you're having personal experiences, and they're so good. If you could see the HUT results, the home use test results we got, they were so good. This is something where you can feel it, you can touch it, it's audible, it changes the world in terms of what we do as a business. This will change the world. This is it. Okay, I'm not kidding. Joe Chang's over in Southeast Asia right now, and it is like the texts that keep coming in are like, oh my gosh, Joe just said it does this. I said, Joe, don't tell him everything. So, but he's having a lot of fun. This is his baby. And I've told people before, he's got pictures of his kids, and he's got a picture of a well spa. And he shows you the well spa before he actually goes, or the Renew spa, or the MyWave, or all different versions of the regulatory approvals that we have to go through, blah, 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 blah. All right, so why does it go so well? Because we have this optimized current. You go in there, it finds out who you are, what your resistance is, what your BMI is, hydration levels, 150 specific data points per second rolling up into the device, optimizing your experience, making sure we get to those penetration, those certain areas, make sure we hit all those spots you want to hit. Different here than different here. And we'll just keep going. So if you hit it, in comes a whole different world. Each individual experience is different. Every single one that you do and everyone else, every single time. It provides you this information. So, everybody want to dance? Let's go. Let's get out of your chairs. Let's go. There's a little music playing. Come on, let's go. People are like, I don't want to. I'm telling you, this is going to change everything. It really will. I boldly say that I've launched products for 30 years. I have over 15,000 products globally in the market. Through it's probably about 1,000 companies that I've helped through my 30-year career. This is the single best product I've ever seen in my entire life. The product's great, but the comp plan, building blocks, things that people aren't pricing, thinking about things besides just how amazing the product is and how you can build with it, okay? We're taking it all into consideration. Now, I won't go into all this as resistance and tells you to apply more serum and gives you more information. You know, LumiSpa, people say, oh, I've got too much cleanser. You won't have too much of this. You're going to be calling, saying, we need more, we need more, we need more. That's a good thing for all of you. So it is fantastic. People like to bathe in it. And then we have this patented pending technology. I can't wait to share all that with you. There are so many awards we've won, so many things that we've accomplished. We can't accomplish them without you. It's a game changer to have this partnership, this relationship where we have the best and brightest in the science side coming together with the best and brightest in the field and doing something really remarkable. This is the moment that's coming out. Our 40th year anniversary is coming up, and we didn't tie the best product we've ever created to something that wasn't significant. The next 40 years are going to be unbelievable. Get ready. Get ready. I don't care how you come in. I don't care whether you're into weight management. I don't care whether you're into scanners. I don't care whether you're, well, I do. I care about all those, by the way. But I don't care how you come in. Your journey is your journey. Whether it's lash and brow and you just came in brand new on that. Doesn't matter. You came in. Now let's have a little fun. Teach about what we do here and help you build your business and grow and learn and help other people do the same. Okay? That's what happens. Because the reality is, this is the reality. The world is looking for opportunity. I said it. The world is looking for opportunity. The world is truly looking for our products because they have challenges they need help with. They're looking for you. I said me, and that's where Empower Me comes in because they're looking for you. The Empower Me comes from you telling me, Steve, empower me. Help me win. Ryan, help me win. Joe, help me win. Emily, help me win. Everything we do every single day is about how we can empower you to build your business your way. That's what we're doing. This is what Nu Skin's about. And you're part of the journey with me. I want to find out right now with some music that's going to come on through our masterful DJ. Are you with me? Yeah. The only way I know it, my coach used to tell me this all the time, because he was sitting there at halftime, we'd be on one knee, we'd be like listening to him. He goes, you with me? And he says, what are you doing on the ground? Get up. Let's go. We're going to go out on the field. Let's go. So let's hear it. Let's do a dance. Let's go.